Hello there. This is Michelle, and I want to thank you for joining me for this scrapbook process video. This layout is based on a sketch by Jennifer Gagne. I think that's how you say her name. Day 8 sketch from 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. I just recently got the Teal Color Swatch collection for 49 in Market from my little scrapbook store. And I'm super excited to use it for one of my favorite pictures of our dog Cosmo. Now, off camera, I did go ahead and trim out that floral piece from one of the other papers, and I did a little bit of texture paste through a Tim Holtz stencil, a mesh stencil, to add a little bit of dimension. So now I am going to play with that side a bit, lifting up the floral piece so I can tuck some things in and around and on top of, particularly since the sketch had tags going up and down that side. I'm going to try to represent that with some rectangular shapes. So that's one thing that's awesome about sketches is that you can make them your own. And so that's how I'm going to handle that left side. And then the other part of the sketch was the photo with several mats kind of offset in different directions. So I'm going to take a look and see how I want to handle that using some strips. And then that film strip, the yellow, I thought really pulled out some of the yellow in the centers of the flowers. So I'm going to go forward with those. I'm going to go ahead and mat my photo with tissue paper. I do that quite a bit if there's a lot of different colors or if I'm doing a mixed media type of layout. Because it's just one more layer and texture to kind of soften the photo. But I'm also going to go ahead and mat it with this diagonal stripe, which is one of my favorite papers, as despite how simple it is, it's just really easy to work with. So I'm going to distress the edges and then go ahead and start inking my edges with that um, ink pad, the Tim Holtz. I'm not remembering the name of it right now. And so I want to bring in a few more butterflies. So I'm going to use rub-ons to do that above the photo. Simple Stories has these distress looking rub-ons, which I really love. They're a little bit finicky for me sometimes, but since they're distressed, they're pretty forgiving. And then I'm also going to use some from 49 and Market, which aren't finicky at all and go on like butter. And so those are really great to work with. Some more butterflies. And then I am going to take a look at the tag because this is where my little bit of journaling is going to go. Use that rub on. Oh, and I also am going to expand my mixed media just a little bit with some more texture paste so it's not buried behind all my layers. So Cosmo, our puppy, who really wasn't a puppy anymore when we took this picture. So he was with us for 15 and a half years, and he was just a great family dog, very sweet, and with us for most of my daughter's growing up years from when she was 6 to 21. And so just love this collection is perfect for him with the butterflies and just great memories. You know, memories are gifts, and so that's what scrapbooking is for: is to remember our loved ones and our good times. And so, really excited to use this collection for him. I did go ahead and sew down the letters, both the puffy and the stickers. Because I just don't trust letters to stay down, and so I almost always sew them just so I have some assurance. And now I'm going to work a little bit on adding some acetate pieces. Most of the ephemera I use is from the stackables, the acetates, and then some of the um, laser cuts. So some of the mini laser cuts from that collection. And then I'm also going to bring in here in a little bit a few pieces from wherever. All right, so I'm going to lift up my photo there so I can do some tucking. And I think I'm getting close to sticking all of that down. Um, and so uh, after I do that, going to make sure it's straight and then start working on a little bit more of those clusters. And so that white piece it's just I just tend to make quite a bit of those or shapes like that that I can stamp and then emboss on vellum, just so I have some white to tuck when I feel like I need it. I also do that with die cuts, so different white backgrounds that I can have available. Um, and I usually do it when I have a little bit of creativity block and just need something to do with my hands. That seems to get my thought process rolling again. So I'm going to use some of those yellow rectangular pop outs from the film strips to add a little bit of yellow to some of those clusters. And then add a bit more to butterflies. And then here shortly too, I'm going to add some black um, rhinestones to some of those butterflies, and then I'm going to change it. So you'll see that. Um, and just figuring out what I want the final pieces to be, and I regret pulling out that color strip, and I might go back and put it back in because now that I'm watching the video, I really like it. And I think I just forgot to um, sneak it back in there. And so my title is going to be Sweet Boy, because he was the sweetest dog ever. And two, I apologize for the glare on the photo. This is actually my first video, and I need to figure out how to take care of that. So I'll do that in future videos. Um, Going back for some more rub-ons from Teal Collection, just to have something to ground that title, as well as that bit of acetate to build just a tiny bit of cluster there by the photo. So I did, or I am going to take that to my sewing machine if I haven't done that already. Oh, there it is. Um, and sew that title down. So I almost always just use white thread, particularly when it's more of a function over fashion type of deal. But it looks sewing looks good no matter what you do or where you do it, as long as you have it in a couple different places to tie it all together. And so I am finalizing and gluing down some pieces there to on that left cluster, as well as building up just a little bit more above Cosmo's photo. And here are those word strips I'm bringing in from the Wherever collection. There's that little bit of black, which you see now has become rhinestones because the black just seemed a little harsh for me. And so I also have that terracotta tag there under the Sweet Boy title, as I wanted to bring in a little bit more of that color. And now that's where you see I forgot to uh, uh, remove my manufacturer barcode. So I took that off. It was on the back side, made my layout really long. And so now I've removed that, and I'm going to add just a little bit of white above the top and the right side, just to bring a little bit more attention on that right side where Cosmo's photo cluster is. And I like that, so I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew that down. If I haven't already, I might have already done that off camera. And then I'm going to play with that terracotta tag just a little bit more, distress it with my archival ink. That's the word I couldn't remember earlier. And help balance out that color on all three clusters. So I'm going to add that little bow. I decided not to add the arrow, but the bow stays. Going to add way too much glue to it, as you'll see here in a minute. And so I'll go ahead and place that, and then I'll bring a little tool to remove some of that glue that slipped out from the sides there. So I'm getting close to the end, I believe. And so um, I am at the white splatter stage. And so I'm going to go ahead and use my Dina Wakley Glossy White, which is a white that I feel like stands out really well. And so I'm going to cover my picture. I have covered my picture. I'm going to do drops throughout. And yeah, I think I am just about done. So thank you for sticking with me on this video. I appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. And here are a few close-ups. Thanks again.